Hello everybody and welcome back to the EcoPosh for You YouTube channel. Unfortunately today is Monday, which I can't really do much about, so we are all just kind of stuck with that. But I hope that everybody has a good week. I hope that you guys have some good sales. And today we're going to be talking about the Whatnot app. Okay, I do not claim to be any kind of authority on Whatnot. Okay, I've only used it a couple times, so this is just my opinion based on that. I mostly use Poshmark to do most of my stuff. I would say Poshmark is probably my top resale app that I use, and then it would be followed by eBay, Mercari, and then Whatnot. So there is the little disclaimer for the video here. Okay, what we're looking at right now is my Whatnot profile page. Okay, not that impressive, but we're gonna take a look at it anyway, and that way I can just kind of show you guys and give you guys my opinion on everything, and that way you can make a decision if it's right for you, if maybe you already have one and you want to decide if you want to start using it more. Maybe you haven't signed up yet and you're not sure. So alright, so this is my profile page. I've got a rating of 4.8. I've only got 5 reviews. I have 36 followers and I'm following 12 people. And then I've got my bio right here: new and resale home and clothing items, art and DIY, ecoposhforyou.com. And then I've got my upcoming live streams for today. I'm going to be doing an art show today, so I've got that right there. And let me just click on that and show you guys. I do like the fact that they have like this preview video, which I know that Posh did add a preview video, but Whatnot had it first, so I just think that's kind of cool. And then what else? So these are some of the past shows that I've done. Okay, I've done, let's see, iPhone cases, 2 craft supply shows, a couples discount clear out. My husband also does resale on the side. He mostly sells, well, he only really sells on eBay. And then I did a jewelry show with the Huns. We were going to try to do a multi-seller show, but we figured it out after we started that the co-host button is just more like to have a co-host that is like an MC than it is to have a co-host that sells. And that's the one thing that I would say that I like that Poshmark does better than Whatnot as far as co-hosting, because you can sell items from other people's closets. You can't really do that here. You can have a co-host, but like I said, it's mostly just for them to hang out, because they can't really sell anything of theirs during your show. But that's what that jewelry show was about. And then I did a voodoo show, I did a backseat painter show, and I did an earring show. And basically I've just tried a different variety of shows. I do try to stay on theme, that way people know what they're buying instead of just saying, you know, oh, just random mix of items. You know, I try to, okay, this is clothing in this size range, or I'm selling my voodoo store, I'm doing my painting stuff, whatever it is. I try to make sure that I'm specific about what I'm doing. So out of all of these shows, probably the ones that I've had the best luck with, I did pretty well with the craft show. I did pretty well. I sold a couple things in the voodoo show. I sold all my paintings I did in my backseat painter show. I've only tried one backseat painter show, but I did sell all the paintings from that show. And I did sell some things on my earring show too. So to be honest with you, I think I've pretty much sold things almost in every show that I've done. So I would say the majority of them I have sold at least 1 or 2 items. And yeah, so that's what's going on with that. And let me see what else we can take a look at. My listings. Let's take a look at my listings. So this is actually something that I think is really important for people that are on Posh, and if you guys are thinking about moving your stuff over, or if you've kind of played around with it and not done a lot yet, this is where you guys might be interested. So on Whatnot now, before you weren't really able to have a quote-unquote like store, what you had was you had the ability to do your auctions. But now there's actually a store type situation. So it's more like a Poshmark closet. And I did get a notification. Was it? Yeah, it was last week. I sold one of the dresses that I put on here. I have not put a lot on here. Actually, there's my sold stuff right here. You can go to your sold stuff. I'll show you guys the dress that I sold. That's the stuff that I sold from the craft show the other day. Alright, and then you can see that I sold this dress for $28. And I ended up getting $24 back from the sale. It's supposed to be about 72 hours, and I'm not counting the weekend because those aren't business days. So it took me about 72 hours to get $24 back from a $28 sale. So that's what I sold. And actually, this dress was not in an auction, and that's the point that I wanted to make. This was just sitting around in my whatnot quote-unquote closet. I don't know what they call it. I guess they call it listings. They're calling it listings. They call it listings on Posh too, but I don't know. I guess you'd call it your whatnot store. So this was just sitting in my whatnot store. I didn't even advertise this dress on a show. It just sold. So for people on Poshmark, I always recommend you putting your stuff on eBay too, because eBay, you'd be surprised how many clothes you sell on eBay, and people will usually pay asking price on eBay. You don't have to mark it down as much as you do for people on Poshmark. And the same thing now I'm recommending for people to do at Whatnot. Just upload your closet. So, you know, what harm does it do? And if you click on create listing, let's see, you can click bulk import from Poshmark, okay? So all you have to do is move all your stuff over from Poshmark. You don't even have to rewrite the listing. So at this point, like, with times being as hard as they are, the economy being as bad as it is, people need to have an all of the above strategy as far as listing. So, and especially when you don't have to do as much work, you know, you can just import your listings from Poshmark. The only thing that you will need to do that's different on Whatnot, you need to actually weigh your items out. I have a scale. That way I get my exact weight on the items. Most of us do have scales for that type of thing. So just make sure that you're measuring each one of these items out after you move it over. Because otherwise it will be listed as inactive. It won't show up on your closet. You have to have all the categories completely filled out for it to show up as an active listing in your closet. So after you're done importing your listings, make sure you go back through and see if there's anything else that you need to fill out to make sure that these listings are active. Because like I said, this just sat on my closet. And somebody purchased it. So definitely recommend that as well. And so as far as my opinion goes, I personally like Whatnot. I don't think it's for everything. I think that there's some things that are going to do better on Poshmark, some things that are going to do better here on Whatnot, some things that are going to do better on eBay, and that's just the nature of the beast. But you can see the different categories they have here, and that would be the difference with Whatnot, is that they've got like some of the celebrity people selling stuff on Whatnot, some of the YouTubers. They have a lot more people in the gaming community. I think that electronics, games, Disney, Funko Pops, just anything like that is going to sell better over here. So just be aware too that when you're selling, there's certain things that do better on certain platforms. I feel like Posh has been pretty good as far as crafters go. It's pretty hard for people that make crafts anyway, but I feel like that Posh does a pretty good job of representing the craft community to an extent. There are some changes I would make, but overall, I feel like I can sell my things on there and do pretty well. when I do shows on Whatnot, I haven't done as many art shows, but I have done a painting show here. It did do pretty well, as in I sold all the items that I had listed. So I do think that there is room here for people that are in the crafting community to develop a following. I just clicked right now on the arts and handmade, and granted it's early Monday morning, okay, and there's only three streams going, but that's also kind of a good thing, because sometimes when you click on Poshmark, there's so many different streams going that it just, I don't know, it can get overwhelming. When I click on the Posh Shows page, I get overwhelmed really quickly. And, well, and especially too, because now on the show page, and let's just take a look at that so I can show you guys what I mean. We're going to click on Posh Shows. Alright, so before, I do like that they have a search now. You can search by closet name. But before, it would just be a listing of all the active shows and then all the shows that were coming up. And it was really easy to keep track of and see, and you knew what was going on. And now when I scroll through this page, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't. Like, they've broken it down into so many categories. Popular shows, jewelry shows, sell together, current show. Like, and I know you can click on all current shows and click on them. See? Look how many are going on right now. Let's just count it. It's early Monday morning. Okay, I guess that's it. 1, 2, there's the Posh Kings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 9. Alright, so we're like looking at least 60 or 70 shows, possibly a few more than that. And it's early Monday morning. And then I go to Whatnot and look at that. There's only 3 in this category. Let's see what they have in clothes. And I'm not saying necessarily that that's a good thing, because obviously I don't know, it makes it feel like Posh is more active. There are more users on there. But I don't know. I kind of like the idea of you being able to have a show and have it being seen, because there's not 800 shows. But it's also not one of the most popular categories. But like, for example, if you go to, let's say, trading card games, there's a lot of people doing trading card games on here. Okay. So, like I said, I think it's about figuring out what to sell where, you know? Because, yeah, this is probably like oversaturated. But even still, I don't think there's as many shows as Posh for that. And then if you scroll down, you can see they've got like all kinds of categories. There's clothes, there's all the hobbies, you can sell makeup. Anything that you can sell on Posh, you can sell here. I do think that there's probably a little bit, and then there's also a kind of a catch-all category called Whatnot. So anything that you don't really have a name for, and it looks like there's only one show going on in the miscellaneous category. So, women's fashion, there is a section for women's fashion, vintage, contemporary, activewear, other, and you can see the shows going on right now. I have noticed that people are doing more clothing shows on here, so if you were thinking about selling clothes on here, this is probably a good time to get in and try it. You can see there's a lot less shows than there were on the Posh. As far as viewers go, I feel like the amount of viewers that these people have in their shows are pretty decent. There's 12 viewers in here, 53, 46, 69, 31, 39, 42, 29. To me, those are decent decent numbers. 2, 6, 5, 8, 2, 19, 25. I mean, you know, it looks like people have about an average of, you know, at least 20 people in their shows. Some more, some less. So that to me is a good sign. So even if there's less people using it, you're still getting more users per show. So if you're a clothing seller, I think that this would be something that you would definitely want to at least try. And I'm sure it's like Posh and sometimes are better than other times to go live. But anyway, this is kind of a long rambling video. Most of my videos have a pretty clear point. This one maybe doesn't, except maybe to encourage people to try the app and see if it works for you for selling. There's no harm in trying something out to see how it does and to see how it works. So I would encourage everybody to do that and share the results with us and let us know how you're doing. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great week. I wish you guys lots of sales, and I will see you guys in the next one.